All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for My Hero Academia, Season 5, Episode 7. All right, last time we were on the second fight. We completed it. Class 1B won. It was a little bit of a toss-up towards the middle, but Class 1B's quirks just were ridiculously strong, and then we had some cool uses of Class 1A's quirks and maybe some slightly disappointing uses of Class 1A's quirks.
Yes.
But in general...
powerful uses of Class 1B.
Right, exactly. One of the things, though, that we had clarified that was really helpful was that Class 1B was not some second draft of the students. In fact, if you go back with some of the earlier episodes when they were actually doing the hero course little entrance exam
with
fighting
the robots and everything,
stuff, you see Class 1B and Class 1A characters all on the same list there.
Gotcha.
There were 2 students from each class that were selected, that were specifically requested. Those are, Todoroki, for instance.
Right, Momo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then all the others basically just got slotted into the 2 hero courses just by pure, randomness.
So Class 1A has had the advantage of a lot more interaction with villains, so a lot more kind of live experience.
But Class 1B actually has the experience in terms of school studies.
Exactly.
In fact, they are better prepped to be heroes from the book side of things,
right,
in terms of their studies. So that's kind of important to bring up.
Yep.
But that meta focus that we kind of got lured into the trap of because 1A has all the main characters in it, meaning that we end up getting more attached to them. And that's why a lot of the stuff in this arc is a little bit just kind of difficult to get into because Class 1B is a class of characters where we only really have attachments to 1 to 3 of them.
Right.
And that's kind of rough, unfortunately. But thinking about it again in the meta way, that also means that there's a very particular reason why we're deciding to have focus in this type of a manner on both classes.
Right.
In a way to not just catch us up to speed on what they can do, but kind of hey, this is what some of the characters can do that you have not really been introduced to. And maybe it's a little bit on the lines of the whole thing of the quirk singularity thing. That, people have been mentioning previously, is that quirks are getting stronger and evolving in some really crazy ways.
That and the whole idea of, we're probably gearing up for more or less a war. Heroes and villains. Which one are you?
Which one are you? Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You're a hero,
just
right?
Just choose for yourself, Iida.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
No problem.
It's nice and simple.
And he's just like, that's not how this works. It's like, you're right,
exactly
Iida.
how this works.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. So, Endeavor added Shoto finally on Facebook.
Yep.
That is about the most awkward dad moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because, of course, dad never uses social media. But then it's the thing of, well, if we're family, we should obviously be friends. No, that's not the case. So...
you are my father, but you are not my friend.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
Which, of course, he's not, right?
Right.
But then all of a sudden it's like, yes.
I added him.
Right. And I like to imagine that it's like not even on a social media thing that Todoroki really uses, Like it's the all right, we're friends on Facebook. It's like, yeah, but I don't use Facebook, ever anymore. It's like, oh, okay, all right.
I love that he said with the help of Fuyumi. So he asked his daughter, like, how do I do this, right?
Yeah. And of course on his phone he has the all flame background, like.
And what's sad about this is he sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 messages.
Yeah.
And all of them have been left on read.
There's this thing called space. And
this is sad and super relatable because it's the thing of where
you'll get it next time, Daryl. You'll get it next time.
But the thing is that we have a dad who has been
awful.
That's just the best one word to do for this. Awful to Todoroki. And now he's basically making the I promise to do better
Right.
Here are the steps I'm going to take right now, and I'm going to show it all with action.
Yep.
Watch me.
Exactly.
I love that as his mantra for his character here on out is, I will burn so bright that you won't be able to help but watch me.
And in some ways, this is an extension of that, right?
This is an extension of that.
And Endeavor, don't necessarily take this as failure. While this isn't a great place to end up, it might be a good place to start. Because it's basically saying, hey, but watch. This is how much I'm thinking about you. This is how much this isn't just some casual thing, right? I am really wanting to make this better.
Right. And let Todoroki also have a bit of that rejection.
Exactly.
It is something that makes him feel stronger, and I would say like he is free to choose not to spend time with you.
Exactly.
And because we already know from a third person omniscient perspective that Todoroki is watching his father and being like, let's wait and see.
Right.
Basically, he's not in an automatically reject endeavor, and he's not in a automatically accept it. He's in a, I'm just going to let this one play out, see how it goes.
His whole life, you've been trying to basically push your fire on him, so let him give you the cold shoulder.
Yeah, well said.
It's all part of the process.
It is all part of the process. I also really like that this episode, I think, figured out the perfect balance that the previous episodes or so sometimes didn't really hit. Kind of like with the Hawks Tokayami.
Yeah,
I really like this is kind of an even like better version of that, because having Endeavor's just general hero life be shown here for a brief minute, where we see him dealing with a villain, where one of the best things about his power is he barely has to use it before they instantly give up.
Right.
He is that strong.
Yeah.
So he starts to heat the guy's shoulder. He's like, okay, I will go quietly.
And really, dude, you should have just been like, oh shit, it's Endeavor.
Well, that was the thing he did, is he's going on the freeway, and then Endeavor pops up, and he just, nope!
Yeah. Maybe I can escape him,
Right.
Oh, I can't. Kids? No, all right, that's...
Well, I think that was his desperation of
right.
The only way I'm getting out of this is if I take a hostage. And nope, not happening.
Not happening.
So good stuff there. Also, just a little bit of the fact that he asked Fuyumi, his daughter, like, how do I add Shoto on the...
How do I do the social media thing?
You have to go to the App Store. You have to download this thing. Oh, okay, this is very complicated. I want a side story at some point of just Endeavor trying to figure out modern life that is not related to hero work.
Do you know what I like to think? Is that he didn't... It wasn't even like Facebook or something like that. It was like the hero equivalent of LinkedIn.
Okay. Where it's like, say like Line or something.
Well, no. Yeah, I don't know what Line's like. I don't live in Japan.
I think that's more of like the equivalent of like a messaging app, like WhatsApp or something.
Right, and that's probably what it actually is.
Sure.
But I'm just imagining like all the different ways that it would still be like super awkward and stuff for Endeavor. But he's like, hey, I technically got it, right? Because he's got the big hero agency and things like that, right? So the thing that's like a big deal for him, and Todoroki, of course, wouldn't care about that, or Shoto. But, oh man. And the fact that his sidekicks are like, yes, the Shoto sickness. It's a bit stronger. It's getting stronger, yeah.
And then our boy just it's weird. They're like, oh, you never get sick, and I just love that idea that he never gets sick. That Shoto is like,
and certainly never gets cold,
right? Because it's the idea that if he's hot and cold, he can keep his internal body temperature regulated.
You've got a cold. Oh, you've got a fever.
No, I don't. He's like, do you have a fever? Not anymore. Right.
Like, yeah. You got an infection.
Nope. Not anymore. So, really cool, exciting stuff. But we have to talk about this. He name dropped again the name of the other son that's out there.
It's just mysteriously gone.
Whose flames were potentially stronger.
Whose firepower.
Yes. That I love
when those doors open. Unleash all of your firepower. Like I love it because technically, it is the power of your fire.
Right. But it just sounds so funny.
So hilarious. But yeah,
it's like saying to someone that has a horse quirk in this world, "You must have incredible horsepower."
Right.
And it's just like, why do you use that word, which has just general meanings in other contexts, as just the casual word here? Whatever. It's hilarious.
Exactly.
But yes, Toya, Totally not Dabi. Had firepower that was potentially stronger.
Which would explain the blue flames.
Yes, but there was something that was...
Weak constitution.
Yes, something that was off about Toya was that he had a weak constitution. That might be completely unrelated to the fact that Dabi has scars.
Right.
But I am curious if it's not that Dabi has scars.
Sure, he dabs too.
It's that but it's that he actually has fake skin covering other things. Like he's got stuff that's surgery stitched over him. Those are actually covering things that aren't scars, but like something more.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it could easily be something where after whatever happened, right, which is why Toya is not a part of the family anymore, then he could have been practicing with his fire or something like that, and it's just that hot that he accidentally burns himself, or who knows, or something else happens, right?
Like he tried to do what's probably the prominence burn, and it really damaged his body in some way. That would be really screwed up if this, like... other son
if it was
really
as a result of what Endeavor
Endeavor was like, yes, you can do it. And it's not that he has a weak constitution, it's that his own quirk rejected that much use of it. That's the kind of stuff that can really freaky. Also, it's something that would make sense logically in that we know that quirks evolve. So one of the things that would naturally make sense for a fire quirk user to have is an internally stronger and stronger heat resistance that they get over the course of the time of using their quirk.
But if it goes super quickly, it might not happen.
It might not be prepared for it.
Well, and also, I mean, theoretically, I don't think this is what it would be, but there's always the possibility that along with, say, like an ice quirk, there might be some slight susceptibility to fire.
Sure.
That might even be a repressed gene that doesn't show up often, but then randomly it's like, oh yeah, there was someone 4 generations back that was really weak to fire, and that gene just sort of ended up actually like manifesting in this child, and then all of a sudden when they're pushed to do fire training,
that goes too far when they're too young or something.
Right, they can't take it, you know.
That would also be a nice scar for Endeavor to have to face again at some point.
Right.
Now, related to the actual 4v4 here, they turned everything on its head. I love the idea that the quirk of softening is so simple but so effective because the range is based on touch. But if it's based on touch, it's I touch this table, it's now... everything that maybe not just this table is touching, but everything touching the table, which then is touching the things that are touching the table, which are touching the touching, and it could just go out for as long as who knows when.
Weirdly enough, Todoroki's advantage against this guy would be if he used his ice with restraint and made it so that it wasn't just one massive blast, but maybe it's like he shoots one blast near that guy and that gets softened, but then he shoots another blast that
ice spikes out.
Yeah, like a smaller one that immobilizes Tetsu, and then there we go. And then it, you know, if he wants to soften it, you have to run all the way over and touch it or something, right?
Yeah. What's just exciting about this is then Todoroki is no longer a one-hit instant win wonder here. Tetsu can get in close, and actually just beam the crap out of him, and then the fights can be basically this twist on where your preparedness meets basically the chaos of combat.
So,
and that's something that really fits the whole thing of, you know, kind of prepared for war, is that sometimes someone with a quirk that's just simply in the right kind of countering capacity here because of some pre-knowledge, you know, about how the enemy's quirk works. Someone with just, I'm tough and I get close to you, I'm gonna knock you out in a punch or two.
Right, and I managed to make it so that because he was like behind the ice and stuff, that Shoji didn't detect him until it was too late, right? Which is like, okay.
And it wasn't just that, it was the fact that Shoji was sent back
by
by the horns.
Yes. Which then opened up the opportunity
for Tetsu to be picked up by those same horns. Well, not those same horns, but two horns. Others. And flung towards him. And I love it. Just pick up the barbarian and fly them at the target.
And one of the things that I love about this is that they brought up the limitation of the quirk in that not that she can only shoot 4 horns, but she can only control 4 horns.
At any given time.
So theoretically, the whole, like, only 2 would be needed to actually take Shoji away, right, as far as direct control, and then the other 2 could be on Tetsu, or they're just being shot, or, you know, or something like that.
But what she did was she sent 2 to knock Shoji back. But then once Tetsu had been dropped off, the other two went and rejoined Shoji to help the restraining process.
Gotcha. Because I remember seeing it at one point that there were 6 of them, but
it's the 2 that were on her heads.
Right. Well, maybe.
Yeah, and then there were 4 on Shoji.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that it doesn't necessarily have to be something where it's only 4 she can shoot, just 4 that she can
control,
be directly controlling. Right.
Telekinetically.
Yeah, exactly. She can shoot theoretically a bunch of them, you know, but yeah.
But then 2 of them are going to drop out as being...
Yeah, they'll have their initial shooting velocity or whatever, and then that'll be it. But
yeah, it's another cool way in which MHA does powers that are psychokinetic, but makes them a physical aspect of the person's body by making them be a thing that is... These are your cursor points of telekinesis, but they come out of your head.
So you got to grow them.
You have to grow them or have maybe nutrients drawn from your body and exhausts you to make them. Cool stuff.
Avoiding the X-Men problem of just, I can control things.
Yeah.
And I'm a god with regards to that.
And then also you run into the problem of too many duplicate powers.
Yes.
But the Iida twist here is freaking awesome.
That was awesome.
I am so excited to get Iida focus again, too, because he was one of the characters that when he got his focus, he shot up the most in my mind in terms of interesting aspects of a character. Because he delved into the close to villain aspect of things, which was, I don't care about the rules and regulations of heroes. I will kill you because you hurt my brother. And that whole Stain arc was really cool because since then, every encounter with society has been touched with the idea that Stain was kind of just right.
Oh, yeah.
He was right the whole time. Heroes are, well, fakes for the most part, or a lot of them are.
Yeah.
And this whole thing of what makes, a good person in this world is it's a little bit fucked up.
It's not as
It's just, you have power and you happen to be able to use it in a way that's beneficial to society. That's great. But what about those of us that just get a really shitty quirk that ruins our lives?
What if you can paralyze people by drinking their blood?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Shouldn't we try to figure out a way to have society help them?
Right.
No, you just give up on them and call them villains, or
also random fun thing. But given that his Recipro boost can be used for 10 minutes,
because he ripped out the mufflers,
that's some hardcore training, and it totally makes sense too. Because if you want something to grow more, then you have to, it feels like
you don't want to put limiters on
adult teeth, right? Exactly. It's like, okay, now you're at that point where your body can actually handle that kind of growing and stuff. So if you want to really take this to the next level, this is what you do. And okay, that's like some growing pains times 20.
He better have some serious dispensers of orange juice in his
right. Yeah, exactly.
his suit,
But now that he has that, and it's not such a short amount of time.
Right.
We've seen Iida move people, right? What if he just was like Todoroki, climb into my arms?
Oh my god.
And just
everywhere.
Yeah, just ice and fire just going everywhere.
It's like, so guys, the whole environmental damage, you guys technically are just gonna fail because you're blasting elemental stuff everywhere. You gotta feel bad for all these people with quirks that feel almost balanced, if you will, like Ojiro, and it's where it's just I have a tail and I'm
very flexible and
just generally a bit strong, and it's just what the hell, you guys?
Right.
And then spiral power drill guy, my fists will pierce through to tomorrow, He's just I know, right?
He hasn't invented teleporting yet to go punch somebody. Not yet. So,
that's what happens when he puts all his limbs together and
Hopefully that will never happen. Yeah, because that's too much for this world. But yeah. Good episode
because we got focus outside of the fight, and also there was no heavy reliance on flashbacks.
Yes.
Or just randomly showing the thing that they just said previously. If anything, the closest part with that was when Vlad said, "Are they literally ignoring the thing I said previously?"
When someone else just said that, yeah.
But,
right. And then technically they did that flashback to Prominence Burn, but let's be real. Any excuse, an opportunity to see that again, we're all for it. And as a result of that, not only did we get some recap flashback footage of when Shoto and Endeavor were training, but we got some new stuff there too.
We did get some new stuff.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about that because it feels like it's tied to the main world arc of the story that's going on right now, which is Hawks, Endeavor,
Toya.
Dabi. Yeah, totally not Toya, Dabi, you know? And then just the idea that the world of villains and heroes is getting a bit antsy right now.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Things had a bit of an overhaul recently, if you will, but also with Endeavor being the number one hero now, he's going to get a lot put on his plate. And if he ends up in a situation where the villains have Hawks like double dealing, like working maybe as like an undercover setup here, there's some ways in which Endeavor could really get hurt by this that go beyond the...
You're saying he could get burned?
Well, yes, but in the way that extends out to the people close to him. If you had a pissed off, vengeful older brother...
I don't think he'd go after his siblings, though.
Why not?
I don't know, man.
Dude,
I don't know.
Dude, every time they mention the siblings, Fuyumi, and I'm so sorry, I forgot the brother's name.
Natsuo. I can never forget that name.
Every time they show them, I'm like... Is this the
care about these characters?
Care about them,
so that
because
now
if Dabi, gets a little bit, trigger happy or something, it's not like it would be some like great secret where they live or something. That's true,
right? And that would be an excellent way to get back at Endeavor because of what you.
Oh, you don't care about them. They were just tools to
right, exactly.
advance you and your experimenting on quirks, right?
Yep.
Huh. And also, that would be just a really powerful way to bring Shoto into this as the one that is the prodigy of the kids,
right?
Who then protect them all, but then also have to protect his father. I just feel like this is all the very quiet, slow build up for the idea of some kind of very intense, very hot showdown of sorts between Endeavor and Dabi. And it's just, who are the people that will be on the sidelines or be directly on opposite sides of this whole conflict?
Because as we know, this Toya's on fire. No. Okay, I'm sorry. Not really, kind of, a little bit. But yeah,
y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the full-length timer version of this reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on any level of support there gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.